Oh, what an emotional scene. The mother of the ex-queen to the Ooni of Ife, Naomi has cried out to Nigerians to help in releasing her daughter from prison, crying that the daughter has a good intention, that she never knew it would result to this. If you are new to my channel, you're welcome. Please subscribe to my channel and let us grow together. Thank you very much. One love.
Mother's plea. Fumilayo Ogunsei, mother of the ex-wife of the Ooni of Ife, Naomi Shilekumola, has appealed to Nigerians to intervene in the detention of her daughter, who was arrested in the wake of the stampede that claimed the lives of over 35 persons during the Children's Carnival, which she organized in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. This was so sad to see. I mean, and literally we were just discussing that. Why would they hold her for that long, Dr. Abati, Naomi, for that long after that?
Whether it is Miss Naomi Ogunsei, that's the name that the House of Oduduwa, the throne of the Ooni of Ife, has put out there, in an attempt by the House of Oduduwa to distance itself from this particular case, is to say that, look, this matter, when you look at it critically, is an action in thought. Persons who organize events have a duty of care to make sure that persons who are involved in those events, are well taken care of. Now, where there is a problem, then there will be issues raised about negligence, about conspiracy, which are the charges that the police seem to be looking at. It doesn't matter whether you are a former queen or a serving queen or an owner of a media house. However, the thing we can insist upon is that the police, the authorities, the security agencies, they must be fair. Every person that is charged, within the ambit of the law, is entitled to fair hearing. That's what Section 35 and 36 of the 1999 Constitution both state. In other words, you cannot keep anybody for more than 48 to 72 hours.
That's what
If you have an issue with them, you charge them to court.
That's it.
This is an action in thought. It's even a bailable offense. They're entitled. She's not the only one. There's the owner of Agidigbo FM and other person. They are entitled to bail, either administrative bail or court bail. So nobody should be maltreated. So people should, however, not talk about emotions. The mother of former queen, Naomi, yes, as a mother, she has to feel concerned. Because, was there an intent to cause harm?
But
That's the point she's making.
Yeah, that's the point she's making.
This is a philanthropist. This is what she has been doing. She means well.
Yeah,
she wants to help people. We have celebrated a philanthropist on this program. Rather, it is Tolu Arokodari, the gang, defender, or it is Alex Iwobi, or it is Victor Musimhen. We have seen so many people, spreading joy and kindness.
Absolutely.
So this went wrong, but at the same time, the rights of the people involved, no matter the issues they want to establish about conspiracy or negligence, must be respected. And former Queen Naomi, is also entitled to a rights, fair hearing under the Nigerian Constitution.
Right, you're right. You both want to say something.
I have a lot to say. And for me, it's about the unfairness of the law and the way things are being done in Nigeria. I'm not saying that Naomi should not be given fair hearing. She should go through, the full provisions of the law. By now, she should have been charged to court.
She has been charged. That's what I was going to mention.
She's been charged to court.
She was charged for murder.
But she's been charged for murder.
The next hearing is on the 13th of
so
January.
why have they not put forward
she was
a
denied
case
bail.
for their bail? Why
she was denied bail because of the charge of murder.
So why was she denied
bail? The next hearing is on the 13th of January.
So the second question I also want to ask is, when the Nigerian Immigration Service thing happened many years ago, who was charged to court on that case? You see, these are the loopholes in the Nigerian law. When recently people died in the customs sale of rice stampede, who was charged to court? If this thing had anything to do with any government official, would this be the same level of justice meted out? I think if we can't answer the case of, and that's why I'm very upset with what the chief of defense staff said, because for those two fighting, you can talk about collateral damage. There's also a duty of care. That's why even scientists invented what is called precision missile. The people that were lives have been lost. For those two cases, let's bring them back. Who was finally charged to court?
Okay, but you've made some valid points, Rufai.
I'm not talking about the fairness of the process.
The fairness of the process in general. You said she was denied bail. What about the other
all of them
organizers like Obi Jackson? So you need. I'm talking about in other states. Like was he arrested?
The police have actually invited a reverend priest in
Yes.
Abuja and a couple of other people with that same society. What was it, Catholic
But
society?
what about in Anambra State?
I don't know.
So Obi Jackson, we don't know what the update on that is, and that's one of the points I was going to make. Right. That it must be seen. Justice must be fair to all. Of course, different courts, as we've seen in many instances, rule in different ways depending on the charges brought before the defendants, and also Dr. Bato always says at the end of the day, the judge or justices have that prerogative. So, but the truth is that it does look a bit unfair as to what is happening to her. What they've said is because it's a charge of murder, Dr. Bati, they can speak to this, that they denied her or denied granting her bail alongside Oriyomi Hamzat and the principal of the school. The only thing I would say is that we also as Nigerians need to state what we really want. When this incident happened, we had said that for us to avoid further occurrences, it has to be investigated, and everyone who is culpable, no sacred cows, should be held accountable. What we're saying though is that there has to be accountability and ensure that due process is followed. If any one of them is found guilty, they should face the full wrath of the law, because we must have punitive measures to deter people in the future. Right. What is being seen though, and that's when the sentiments come in, public sentiments, or of course a mother would cry. There are many mothers crying for their children who are currently in jail or unjustly or unfairly jailed. So it's important to state that as well, that let's also be careful that we also say that if anyone is found culpable, whoever it is, whether in Anambra, Abuja, or in Oyo State, let the full course of the law, but let it be done fairly. Yes,
nobody is above the law.
Yes.
But at the same time, the law must be fair.
Yes,
law for everybody, be it king or plebeian.
Well said, you all. Well said. Well, in Osun State, Governor Ademola Adeleke gave the prerogative of mercy to 53 convicts serving various prison sentences within the Nigerian Correctional Service, including Segun Olowokere, the man who was reportedly sentenced to death by hanging for stealing a hen and eggs in 2010. Segun's story recently went viral and sparked public outcry after an interview granted by his parents.
Moka sentenced to death by hanging.
Kò síbi tá a ti rìn dé lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí o, ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà.
Kí lẹ wá fẹ́ báyìí kọ̀ǹkọ̀ǹkọ̀ǹkọ̀?
Ìrànlọ́wọ́ la fẹ́ láti ọ̀dọ̀ gọ́vnọ̀ wa
Adeleke kí wọ́n ràn wá lọ́wọ́ torí ní ọjọ́ tí wọ́n dá ẹjọ́ yìí nǹkan tí wọ́n dá ń bẹ̀ náà ni pé ní gọ́vnà ló lè pardon ọmọ yìí kí wọ́n ràn wá lọ́wọ́ kí wọ́n ṣàánú wa kí wọ́n wò pé àbí ju ọmọ kan lọ abẹ́ olórí wa gọ́vnà wa kan dákun kan ṣàánú wa kan ràn wá lọ́wọ́ ọmọ kan ṣoṣo tàbí nígbèsí ayé wa náà ní eléyìí o.
All right, that was the video that was trending, but we know that the Oshun court had debunked the story, whether or not Shegun had been charged for stealing a hen. They said it was a case of robbery, but the governor has granted him pardon. Let's take Adeleke's tweet. His tweet reads in part, prerogative of mercy extended to 53 convicts in line with the recommendations of the State Advisory Council on prerogative of mercy and in exercise of the power conferred on me by paragraph A, C, and D of subsection I of section 212 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended. I am pleased to extend my grace and mercy unto 53 convicts serving various convictions within the Nigerian Correctional Service. Well, he went on to list all of the people that he has pardoned, and this is the section that he listed the 4 people. He said the following 4 convicts also have their sentences commuted from death sentence to outright pardon. And then he listed them. I believe Sunday was one of the people that he was arrested with, Shegun as well, and Tunde Olakpade as well as Demola Odeyemi. I mean, kudos to Governor Ademola Adeleke. I mean, that story was trending yesterday. That story, yes, absolutely.
And that's why for every those that condemn media, it is things like this in media do we amplify story. Because if not for that interview,
yes,
he will never be able to have that prerogative of mercy.
We wouldn't have known that he was convicted for a probable crime like that.
Particularly, we should also commend Governor Adeleke
yes,
for listening.
Absolutely.
Now, when that matter was brought to the public space, he quickly intervened.
Yes.
And he said that Osun State is a state of justice and equity and that he will look into this matter. And he advised the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice to conduct investigations. And the job of the Attorney General, of course, is to advise his principal. And it's on the basis of this advice that the governor has now, taken this action to pardon 53 convicts. And what he has done is lawful. It is within the purview, as quoted in the statement you read, of Section 212 of the Constitution, which allows governors to exercise the prerogative of mercy. But what I find particularly instructive here is that in commuting the death sentence to outright pardon, he also listened to an intervention by Femi Falana, SAN, who said, yes, the governor has said he will pardon Shegun Oluwokere, but there was also Morakiyo, Sunday Morakiyo,
that's what I said,
who the trial judge had said was non-corpus mentis. In other words, he had issues, with his mental state of health, and that the pardon should be extended to him. Again, Governor Adeleke listened to that informed legal counsel by Femi Falana, SAN. I think at the end of the day, this is all lawful, this is all constitutional, and that is what is important about it. Despite the fact that Mutalabi Adebayo, the Attorney General, that was there before, had raised an objection that this was a case of armed robbery, but whether it was armed robbery simpliciter or not, and what he did was to protect the integrity of the judiciary, the governor has still acted within the province of the law.
Absolutely.
I think that's what is important.
Well, kudos to Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke.